Hi plant buddies! So today we are going to be doing an update on these cuttings that we planted on episode 12, how to plant succulent cuttings, and that was about 4 to 6 weeks ago. So we planted them, of course, with no roots, and about, let's say 4 to 6 weeks later, we have our plants over here and we're going to check if they have rooted. I wanted to show you guys approximately how long it takes for me to root succulent cuttings that I plant. This is the other tray that we will be looking at, so let's get to it. Okay, join me. So let us look at our first tray and see which ones have rooted. Okay, so this one right here is called a Chrysula string of buttons. I think it's the ivory towers. I will let you know on the side what the ID is, just in case you guys are interested to know. But see, as I'm pulling here, there was actually a little bit of resistance there telling me that she has rooted. And as you can see here, sorry about the light, guys. I'm kind of losing light outside, so I had to use a lamp. As you can see, there are roots that have started growing. There's little white hairs there, so that means she is ready to be watered. Okay, let's just stick her back in. This one right here is an Echeveria agavoides. I'm not exactly sure which agavoides yet, but oh, okay, see, look at this one. We had a little bit of a problem here. It rotted. I want you guys to know that it is very hot right now outside, so succulent rot. Look, I haven't watered this. This was planted as a cutting. I just cut the rot out and it will be replanted as a cutting again. High heat and humidity, guys. Look, I haven't watered. It was a cutting. It wasn't rotting or anything. Remove 2 or 3 leaves so the roots can get out of can grow out of those roots. They can still rot from high heat and humidity, so always consider that. And this is actually, oh, I'm so sad. I thought it would have rooted by now because it looked fine, and look, the stem was actually rotting on us. So there you go. This one is a Chrysula something. Brain fart right now, I forgot. I'll have the name up on the side for you. But I think it's a Chrysula undulata, I believe. So let us check if she has roots. She has actually grabbed on to the soil there. And there's some white hair roots that I can see, but you guys, I don't think you guys can see it on camera. She has rooted and she is ready to be watered, I think. Hold on. I don't want to bother the roots, but it really has hung on to that piece of soil right there. That's roots that's hanging on. Okay. Let's see. This is, I'm honestly not sure what the exact ID for this is, but for sure it's a sedum. I am not quite sure if it's a sedum clavatum or if it is a sedum or if it is a sedum lucidum, giant jelly bean. I guess I have to wait for her to grow because she resembles both of them. And let us check if it has rooted. Oh, look, there's a tiny little white root there on the side, if you can see. So that has rooted for us, and this one has a little bit more roots to show. See that white stuff there at the bottom of the stem? That is little white roots letting me know that she has grown roots and she is ready for some water. So let's just gently, carefully plant it in there because we don't want to mess with those roots. This one's, you know, the leaves are actually still firm. There's only one that's wrinkling up a little bit, so I might actually hold off on the water on that one. This is a dancing bones. I'll have the name up on the side of the screen for you guys. Okay, so you know what? I don't want to pull this out because I know it has rooted, because when I pull on it, there's a lot of resistance there. A good indication if you don't want to pull out your plants to check if they have rooted, your succulent cuttings, is look at, do you see the green right here? You see the green? You see how the rest has it's kind of wrinkly and starting to dry off because the plant is using up its energy. If you can see the new green growth right up there, you can see that. That is an indication that it has rooted because it has started to continue growing. Why is it growing despite me not watering it yet? Because the humidity outdoors is pretty high, so it's probably absorbing water from the air, and it has continued growing. So that's a good indication, guys, that your succulent has rooted if there's new growth. Okay, I don't want to disturb the roots too much on this one because I know for sure that she has rooted. This one right here, these are crassulas. I think this one is a Crassula capitella campfire, and I am not quite sure what this one over here is, but let's check the roots. There you go. Little white hair roots at the bottom, letting me know that she has grown roots and she is ready to receive a little bit of water. Keep in mind they're in little nursery pots right now because they're not gonna stay in here. I just kind of want them to root. This one also has a little bit of roots. So this is about 5 to 6 weeks, guys. This is a Kalanchoe tomentosa chocolate soldier. Very fast grower. How do I know that this has rooted? Because if you watch my video from episode 12, how to plant succulent cuttings, it was not this big. It has gotten bigger. And I am not, like I said, I am not going to pull it out, guys. This one roots pretty easily, but how do I know that it has rooted? It actually has a little root growing right there, if you can see it on the side. Well, you know what? Let's just pull it out for you. Just so you can see how much roots it has grown. This is a good succulent for beginners to have because they are pretty easy to take care of and they do root fast. Look at those roots. See that? This was planted as a cutting with no roots at all. So 5 to 6 weeks, obviously it has way more roots than the others that I have shown you. Here we go. Here is our next tray of cuttings that we will be checking roots for. I think this is an aloe. I always forget what it's called, but I'll have it up there on the side for you guys. Let's see if she has rooted. Aloes, guys, aloes and haworthias take their time. They take their sweet time to root. So even if it's been 5 to 6 weeks, look, no roots yet. But she is not showing any signs of stress at all. She's not struggling. She is not looking for water. So these guys, if you are trying to root them as cuttings, they usually take about 3 months for me to even, sprout out a little nubbin of root. So, don't worry about it if it's taking really long to root. They really do take a while. Okay, and then this is an Aeonium Zwartkop. It is summer right now and it's really hot. Aeoniums go to sleep in the summer. They are dormant and you can see that her rosette is pretty closed up in there. So I do doubt it has grown roots, but let's check anyway. And I'm right, no roots. If you guys are trying to plant Aeonium cuttings, summer is not the right time to plant them. I mean, although, if you do live in a colder climate, it will root. But for a really hot tropical climate weather like mine, I struggle to grow them because it's hot and they do just sleep throughout the summer until about November, December when the weather starts to get cooler for me. This is another aloe right here. And like I said, they take a long time to root. It has used up the energy of this. It has used up the water reserves of this one. So let's take that out. And still no roots. I still have no idea what this one is. So if you guys do know what kind of aloe this is, please let me know in the comments down below. This one looks like it's in trouble. I believe this is a sedum pachyphytum jelly bean. Well, it has rooted. I'm looking at the stem because it's kind of dark and I actually thought maybe it's rotting, but it's not. Is it soft? I'm checking. Remember what I said, guys, always check your stems if they're healthy. I'm a little worried about the stem because it's kind of soft and wrinkly, but it's rooting. But I feel like it's gonna rot. I don't know. This is some type of Stapelia, and we will not know what kind it is until it flowers. It has not rooted, but I think it's getting ready to root because it has some new growth. I don't know. I think you guys can see it, right? It does have a little bit of growth on the plant itself there. There's like 2 little nubbins that are trying to grow, 3 actually. So that is an indication that it's still alive. But it's just taking its sweet time to root. Some succulents, guys, that's why I said do not water succulent cuttings until you see some root growth, because some succulents really do take long to root, and if you water them and the soil stays wet too long and they have no roots to absorb it, they can rot. Here's another one. I do not know what it is, but I'm trying to, that's not, I guess that's, it looks like it has a little bit of a root, like right there, but I'm not quite sure if that's roots. I will not water yet. I mean, obviously it's okay, but these guys, I don't know, they don't root as fast as sedums and escheverias. They take a while. Another unknown succulent, I still don't know what it is, and it has, is that a root? It has a little bit of, it has a little root for me. I don't know if you can see it, but it did sprout out a little tiny root right here. Oh, the light is horrible, but it does have a little bit of a root there. I'm gonna keep giving it time to root a little bit more. Okay, this is a Crassula ovata variegata that is very much having a hard time with summer. Jades, Crassula ovatas do not like the weather here. They do not like the hot tropical weather, I am telling you. I keep trying. There are just certain succulents that we cannot grow depending on where we live. It has not rooted yet. It has started using up its leaves. It's starting to struggle, so I do not know if that's gonna make it. The best time to root succulent cuttings, guys, is in the spring or like in the fall when the weather is a little bit cooler and not in the summer like what I'm doing now. But I have had success, you know, with a lot trying to root them in the summer, but I try not to because it kind of takes a little bit longer than normal. This also does not have any signs of roots yet, nor does it doesn't even look like it wants to root. But this is a regular Crassula ovata. I believe it's a Crassula ovata Hummels Sunset or Crosby's Compact, something like that. Ooh, I popped off a leaf, I'm sorry. I don't see roots, but it's hanging onto the soil, so that must mean that there's a little bit of, I'm trying to tap it a little to see if there's roots in there, just gently. Okay, it's hanging on to some soil and this has not been watered, so I have a feeling there are a little bit of roots right in there, but you know, it's doing okay. This one too, I know there's a little bit of root there. I think it's ready. I think it's ready for water. I just can't see it. They're probably so small and then they've already sort of grabbed onto the soil, so that's why it's kind of hard to see. But if you pull out a cutting that you have rooted and it hangs onto the soil like that, like there's a little clump of soil that hangs onto and it won't fall off, the roots are under there, guys. Here is another Echeveria agavoides, just laying on top of the soil. I didn't even bury it in, I guess. Stem is healthy, but no roots yet. Echeveria agavoides, I mean, it's not showing any signs of struggle and it's perfectly healthy. It doesn't even need water. So there you go. Echeveria agavoides takes a little bit longer to root. Now I've got them all back in their soil and I will show you how I water my newly rooted succulent cuttings. So we are only going to water the ones that you saw me pull out earlier with roots, and this is how I water them. Okay, I just used like one of those, you know, those condiment ketchup bottle things to put water in, because with this I am able to control how much water I give, and you know, I'm able to kind of direct it exactly where I want it to go. So let's start. So these guys have already rooted, so this is how I water. Okay, I don't exactly measure, but I just water very lightly, guys, just to dampen the soil, because remember, they just started growing those roots. I mean, you saw that there's not much of a root system on them after 5 to 6 weeks. So you do not want to all of a sudden drown them in water. You just want to give them a little bit just to hydrate the soil so they could take up some of that water. Let's water our either Sedum turlisi or Sedum lucidum over here. All these little pots that I have here have drainage holes in the bottom. Okay, so the water drains pretty freely. As you can see, if I lift it, there's actually water down there that have dripped out, despite me not actually watering them too much, because the water just kind of goes through. You know, on camera, my soil may not look like there's not much grit in there, but believe me, there is. Okay, so let's just move on to the next tray and let's water these guys. Which ones have rooted here? So the Aeonium didn't have roots. That will not be watered for a while, and I hope she does live for me. The Echeveria ruby red slippers, Pulvinata ruby red slippers, I will give a light watering. The Kalanchoe Panda Chocolate Soldier actually has a pretty good root system going already, so let's water that a little bit. These guys over here do not have roots yet. This one showed a little bit of root, so it is now ready to be lightly watered. You see how much water is coming out of the bottle, right? It's not much. These guys did not root, I believe. This is the Variegata Jade that did show just a tiny little nubbin of root, so I will give that a little bit of water as well. And what about this one? Okay, this one, I actually checked the roots on these guys last week, and I did give them a light watering like I did the others already. So I can feel that there's still moisture in there. So I am not going to water it just yet. These guys, with the amount of water that I gave them, they will dry up in about 2 to 3 days, and then I can give them another light watering, but a bit more than what I gave them this time. So these guys, once the soil completely dries, guys, always wait until the soil is completely dry. You can give them another light watering, but a little bit more than the last time, okay? They still should be kept in bright shade, or at least only morning sun at this stage, to prevent them from getting sunburn, okay? So I hope this video helped you guys somehow in knowing, you know, when certain types of succulents root. They all have different timelines. That's why I choose to pot them separately when I am planting them as cuttings, because they do not root all at the same time. You saw my agavoides, my little stapelia in the other tray. This one right here, they have not rooted yet after 5 to 6 weeks. Some of my jades have not rooted yet. So my rule of thumb is if a succulent does not have roots, do not water them, because if they do not have roots, there is no way for them to take up the water anyway, therefore you risk rot. I am not necessarily saying that you guys should do exactly what I do, but I am just showing you the method that I use that has worked for me for several years now in growing succulent cuttings, and the care tips that I have for them that works for me. And you know, a lot of them grow into mature plants for me, and I hope this helps you somehow. Okay, so this is Christine from the Succulent Buddies. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Good luck with your cuttings. Thank you.